second. Like that.
Nice. I got it.
Okay, good.
Whenever you guys are ready.
Okay. So, I never initially set out to be a teacher. In fact, I think I told my grandma there was no way in Hades that I would. I didn't like little kids and whatever. Anyway, ended up that I took a position where I got to take over maternity leave in the art department at a local school. And I found that I really liked passing along the knowledge that I had, especially since I grew up in a small town where, people knew that I was good and I had this creative talent, but they didn't know how to nurture it. They didn't know how to make me better. They just, oh, that's great, and just kind of let me go on my way. And even the teachers that I had just kind of let me do my thing. They didn't really put me in any kind of realm to help me develop the skills that I had. So when I went to college, the art department kind of laughed at me, because I was not the caliber that my peers were. So, I mean, they let me do my thing and they let me get a degree, but they just kind of didn't think I was that great. But, whatever. So, becoming a teacher was huge, actually, to go into that then with that knowledge of my life and know that I had a duty. I needed to provide for those students what I did not get, which was an art education. So by incorporating art history and vocabulary and technique into an elementary art program where they are the most developmental to latch on to knowledge was very important to me. And so I built an art program for 5 years. And then when they threatened that art program, I had a job to do, and that was to stand up for my principles. So when they couldn't promise me that they would bring that back in the fall, then I had to stand my ground and tell them I was serious and quit my job. So, I don't know where I was going with that, but
Does that relate to the Imaginarium?
well,
Or is it just one of the...
in small town USA, the exposure to the arts is very limited. So by creating the Imaginarium in downtown Mount Carroll, which is a small, sleepy town, it was my mission to bring in a little bit of urban appeal and urban influence into a small, they're not closed-minded because they're very open to everything, but they think it's kind of weird, some of it, so, whatever, but I don't necessarily want to give classes, full classes, but what I would rather do is give art enrichment to individuals who show talent that they already possess and help them build upon that and become better with their techniques so that they don't end up the same way I did in a small town. I think there's more opportunities now for kids than there was when I was their age, though, because they have that exposure to the internet and the World Wide Web. And I think young artists are better than ever visually than we have been since the inception of the internet. actually. I've never seen such good work out of high schoolers ever. It just keeps getting better because I think they're self-pursuing too outside of the classroom. Yeah.
Just like this one line here, to open minds to believe in the power of each individual to manifest their own destiny and imagine the vastness of their own potential is my motivation.
Mhm.
I think you hit on that, but that always seems to me to be part of the conversations. That's a big
Yeah. We
why is
each
that, why is that important to you? Is there a way to wrap that one up? In a
to
thought?
influence each other.
You're passionate about that.
I am, and that just came in one complete thought, and I had to write it down. And that's my manifesto.
Why is it important to be a good neighbor and nurture other people? What happens when
We don't know how we're influencing someone until much later in the game. And I think I just posted a quote on Facebook today or yesterday that Gandhi said, we can only try to do good things and spread good faith and hope that we're doing a good thing. And we may never know the impact that we have on others. And I think when I penned my book 3 years ago, it was on that same fact that, just spreading a smile to someone brightens up their day, and you don't know how that's going to then affect the rest of their life. Just passing on that little bit of goodness, and you don't know how it's going to end up. You could stop someone from committing suicide, for all you know. You don't know. But I think just working together and helping each other is huge. I think with
an empowerment almost.
yeah, and I think with students especially, they've been told, by the time they get to high school, they've been told so much that nothing they do is important. What's important is their grades. What's important is, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes the things that they're really good at and the things that they really want to do are kind of put to the wayside, and with just a little bit of encouragement and the knowledge that they can do those things, because there are opportunities to use their talents, and they can do those things later in life, really makes them perk up and realize that, yeah, it can be done. And then they go forward. I just met a young man, actually. We had two river rats, two canoeists, come down from Minneapolis a week and a half ago. They just left today. And one was a baker. And when I was having the conversation with him Saturday night about, goodbye, happy trails, and hope to see you soon, and what are you doing with your life? This kid's 24. What does he know? But he says, I want to get all the way down to New Orleans, and then I don't know from there, but I want to go over to Germany and just travel from bakery to bakery to bakery and work for each person for a little bit so that I gain more knowledge and just keep going in that way for a little while. And that's kind of my big dream. And I said, I'm not envious, because I am doing what I'm doing too in that same same vein, but how can you do that? You know, just pick up stakes and live out of a backpack and just go. He's like, you know, you just got to do it. You just got to do what's in you. And because life is so short, so short, that you just have to do whatever you feel you need to do. I don't want to live my life with regrets. And I think I've come to that. No more. And just breathe every day. And just go along with whatever happens. And laugh about it later. You know? So the Imaginarium is just another facet of that. Because the Imaginarium is everything and anything. It's whatever you can imagine and create, and you know, I'm just gonna let it roll, and everything that I feel I want a part of it is going to be a part of it, but it'll all take time to build.
About the artists you're bringing in, you know, any special little, I mean, at least a little something on that so they are understanding the classes are going on. You're showcasing other artists, so you're trying to,
Mhm.
you know, pay it forward. You have the opportunity to have a physical spot now, so
Mhm.
there's a little that going on right now.
When I had my studio, it was kind of off the beaten path, but it gave me time to establish myself, and not be visible where everyone was kind of, you know, bothering me when I was there. But it has been all important for me to have the doors open in a physical space where people can find me now, that I have all of my work on display that otherwise would not have been seen. And what I've done is created an opportunity for other folks who I feel really need that little bit of a leg up, who maybe aren't showing anywhere. In fact, one of my artists is an auto body guy. You know, he's 28 years old and he's never really shown or sold or anything, but he has got the airbrush work down. You can do your portrait, and it's perfect. And Dan Brinkmeyer is he works for the Field Museum in Chicago. Very quirky guy, but his art is phenomenal. He's never shown anywhere at all. And for him to come in after I've asked him if he would, I've been asking him for years to show through the Art Guild. For him to accept that offer shows me that it's going in the right, you know, it's still going in that path. Again, what I wanted to create was an urban appeal, and I think I've achieved that, actually, because we've had some outer-towners in, one from California, one from, you know, whatever, and I've had folks tell me that it reminds them of, like, Old Town Chicago or the Bay Area in California, because it's very open and colorful and just a smattering of goodness.
So your space is actually providing an outlet for artists that may or may not have had opportunity to show in our area. So I guess your vision here.
I think before the last couple of years, I've tried banks, and of course, banks put a little bit of a, what's the word, restriction on what can be shown and what can't be shown, and I tried to provide that opportunity for other artists, and they really didn't take me up on it. And so I got to the point where I was kind of scrambling for nothing, and I decided that, well, maybe instead of me showing through those venues, I needed my own venue. and it's just too much space for me alone. So to keep providing that opportunity for others was in the back of my head as well.
Paper is rattling.
I need my pink glasses.
Have we talked about why it's important to pursue your passion? Anything to, pearl of wisdom you want to share?
I don't
The
have any.
young
I don't have any wisdom. I'm just doing
No,
my
you don't.
thing. I think
Getting quiet.
I was just remarking to Bob actually last night about how, when I go do art shows, it's kind of funny because the way I set up a booth, which is hardly at all, is the same way I create my art. It's just free spirit. This is what it is, and this is me, and look if you want, don't if you don't, because I'm just like, I don't take the, I don't go through that painstaking, setting it all up so it's pretty, and I can't stress about that stuff because it stresses me out. So I want to be right here on this nice even keel. And so I just I feel like I just kind of explode when I set up a... And what was the question you asked me? Because I just went on that tangent.
Well, what were we talking about?
Oh, pearls of
for
wisdom.
oh yeah, a pearl of wisdom for a creative child.
Oh.
One of them we got in here is, why is it important to pursue your passion?
Oh, right,
maybe
right.
if you're thinking about talking to kids,
I'm gonna go off of that, but I speak at Clinton Community College for their art appreciation class every semester, and I think part of the importance of that to me is that I am a small town local artist doing what I'm doing because I love what I'm doing, and when I speak to them, I'm showing them these are all the things that I do, this is all the things that I'm involved in, and the feedback I've gotten from them after the fact, after I've spoken with them, is that they didn't realize that they could do it. They didn't realize that in this small area, they thought the same as I, that they needed to go away if they really wanted to do what was in their heart to do. And I think I established in them, or plant that seed in them, that they can do what they potentially would desire to do. It's just hard work and discipline, and you can be anything you want to be, especially now, right where you are, right where you're planted, and and just there's a support group around you to make anything happen.
Awesome. I figured they're slamming doors anyway. I can just go ahead and express myself. Oh my gosh. Yep.
It took Tom a month and a half to figure out what that bike sculpture was that Bud brought over. He didn't realize it was a pothead. These old ladies that walk by every morning pointed it out to him. A month and a half it sat there on the corner.
Holy crap.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Darn.
I got
Okay.
started late.
Well, can we? All right.
I ran out of gas.
All right. Can we?
What do you need? The last thing was
Garden
garden
stock.
stock in one word. Family.
You can go. We don't have a 7 o'clock, so we have a little wiggle room.
Okay.
Just trying to keep you on
Thank you. Appreciate
some
it.
sort of.
Because I'm not conscious of that right now.
I know.
that's your job.
That's what I brought Kestrel for. As you can see, she's
She's really paying
delved
attention.
right into it. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
what am I
That's what we
supposed
said.
to be doing?
So, do you have, just give me some of your impressions or your thoughts, opinions, how you feel about cardstock, and if it comes in the form of a particular memory pool, if it doesn't pool, just
Okay. Yeah.
what's the vibe of cardstock?
Acceptance. Garden Stock is providing an opportunity for everyone, not just the artists and the musicians, not just the Sinisippi gardeners, but it's an opportunity for exposure to the food businesses, to the local musicians, to the artists, and it ends up being just a fun day. I don't care if I sell anything when I come. You know, I set up and I embrace my friends and talk to people and have a great day and just listen to great music and take in good art. But what you've done is created a huge opportunity that has grown in importance, I think, in this area and the world of art. That you don't have to be a fine artist to show, because you don't have to be a fine artist to be an artist. It's whatever you're doing creatively. Be making tie-dye t-shirts or, you know, scarves and pots, and it's just, it makes me hugely aware of those that do not accept all art forms, actually, and how, you know, they don't want to let you play their reindeer games, even though they should. Which is, you know, the Imaginarium will also incorporate vocal and instrumental music instruction. And the Art Guild starting that open mic is open to writers and reciters, and as well as musicians, which that's been huge for us, and what we've been commended for actually is that we're the only open mic that's actually an open mic in the area.
So spinning on that, one last thing, and then
Spin on the what last thing?
spinning on the idea, since you got your hands in all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, what haven't you participated in, or, you know, it's pretty
Right.
much like that. It's easier to list off what you haven't
Okay.
engaged in. So, from your perspective, what do you think about what's going on here as far as all the stuff popping up? You know, the one I always use the site is Rosebrook. You know, it's like, you know, when Nicole said, okay, I gotta shut her down, all of a sudden the vacuum and these people came in and Rosebrook, you know, and so, and it's that stone in the lake kind of thing, skip,
Yep.
skip, skip, you know, and she wanted to start with the jam, and the next thing you know, it's like this full-fledged co-op where there's these super active people. So now maybe I should be on the camera. What do you think about what's been going on? Since you're in all of it, I mean, why do you think, you know, is...
Like I said, I think there's an awakening happening. And I don't think it's just here. I think it's everywhere. People are waking up to the fact that it makes them feel good. You know? I feel like I've been herding cats for 7 years, trying to, you know, drum up. I know there's artists, I know there's musicians, I know there's writers, there's all kinds of people that, you know, maybe they moved here to get away from the spotlight, but they're here, and, you know, they should be seen, I guess. guess. So I don't know. My major thrust has just been to create something here that I thought was missing. You know, and I feel that I have done that, but I've also participated in others creating what they felt was missing. For instance, Tom at Bonfire and Nicole at Rosebrook, and you know, the folks that have banded on in the Art Guild and have pitched in when we've needed them to pitch in, and we're creating a community within a community that overlaps quite a bit. And being free enough to take that chance to participate in those things makes them that much better. You know, taking that chance, taking a leap for exposure, if anything, just to show people that you're there is huge. And I think that's helped with the growth of Bonfire too. Kind of spread like wildfire.
Anything you want to add that
I think that was the only thing that I wanted to add was the creating what I felt was missing, you know.
yeah, that's the cool thing about it. Everything's got this,
You know, that was especially huge when I moved back here. I think my purpose has become creating what I need here to exist. And regardless of whether anyone likes it or not, it's what I need too. And I think by creating what I need, I've created what others have been wanting as well. So that's like working for Tom for nothing for 4 years. You know, I was helping build something that I wanted to exist. And now it's huge. Tom doesn't know what to do with it. He was going to come over today too, but Tommy was in. He had to run him up.
I'm gonna get the awful. I don't know. I could probably get one.
And shall that be a wrap?
I think so.
After that face, that's a wrap.